amigos. Welcome to the Git Gossip. Let's see who first pushed a disaster into the tech world this week. And I didn't push the disaster into the tech world this week. How do you pronounce Nginx? A dev on Reddit is breaking old habits. He confesses he's been saying Nginx all his life while admitting that the official pronunciation Nginx. Nginx just feels totally wrong to him. The community is split into two camps. Some are struggling with the official standard while others keep saying Nginx and don't care what the tech lead thinks.
I've been saying Nginx all my life. Saying Nginx feels really wrong, even though it's the official pronunciation.
I go with Nginx.
What's the difference for you between Nginx and Nginx?
Engine. Nginx.
Accent, really causing a bit of pause between N and Jin. Nginx.
I spent the first 10-15 years of my adult life/tech career only ever seeing it spelled out, never said. So I always said Nginx. Wasn't until I was at my current job and someone went Nginx, and I went, oh.
I can't be the only weirdo who ignored the N, since it's not grammatically correct. They just called it Nginx.
The main thing is that your Docker config doesn't crash because of your accent. Pronounce it however you want as long as proxy works. Is it normal to change class names after every update like this, LinkedIn? And they built a browser extension to block LinkedIn's news feature, but it keeps breaking. Turns out Microsoft is rotating mangled class as name like you can see on your screen, even when there is zero visual changes. Folk in the comments are laughing, asking if this is standard practice or just Microsoft being Microsoft. Class management is clearly corporate warfare against scrapers.
A few years ago, I developed a browser extension to block LinkedIn's little news feature. I felt it was too much of a distraction. One day, however, it stopped working, and I realized that it was because LinkedIn had replaced the class I was looking for with a bunch of mangled class names. I ended up using by, but it keeps coming back. And a recent peek seems to indicate that it's happening because the class names are getting changed seemingly daily, despite no visual changes. For example, these were the classes yesterday, and then today it was this. Is this a common practice, or is Microsoft just being Microsoft?
It's transpiled. Will likely happen with every deploy/generation.
Pretty much all modern dynamic frameworks do that automatically. This is done to ensure style encapsulation within component boundaries. For example, Angular is doing that for a decade now. It's just a good practice for developers and completely unrelated to your problem.
This needs to be higher. This isn't some malicious or defensive move by LinkedIn, despite all the ill-informed comments. It's done for encapsulation and cache-busting purposes.
The class names that developers add in the code likely didn't change, but the CSS was recompiled, and whatever they're using to obfuscate the class names updated them.
So many confident but wrong answers here. Various CSS in JS frameworks auto-generate random class names like this. It's not to block an AI bot. It wouldn't be effective at that anyway. It's just auto-generated. That is all.
Don't hook into raw CSS classes if you don't want to fix your code after every single corporate morning deploy. Anxiety and burnout as a sole in-house web dev. A guy is working as the sole web dev for an e-commerce brand with millions of sessions in London. After his manager moved to another project, the CEO started tagging him on weekends in group chat asking why this broke. Reddit is losing its mind over such low pay for that level of stress. The community screams in unison, "Run away immediately, your collaboration is broken. You shouldn't be on weekend group chats for that money."
I've been working as the only web dev for an e-commerce brand for just under a year. Previously worked at an agency and a small technical team. There's about 70 people in company, with 8-figure turnover, millions of sessions per month across several sites. London-based, but remote, I get paid about £40,000. There was previously another dev who was also my manager, but they've started working on another part of the business, and I now do this alone. Since then, I've been struggling with anxiety, and before I jump ship, I'm trying to gauge whether I'm overreacting or not, as I've lost calibration on what's normal. In the past few months, I've been contacted out of work hours 7 or 8 times for various things. Some are, "This is broken and we need you to log on and fix it." And some are just, "CEO has said we should do this, please note." These are straight to my personal number, either via call or text. I have Teams silenced past 5 and on weekends, but sometimes can't help check them, as it's just what's done here. For example, it's Saturday, and this morning I check and saw I'd been tagged in a large group chat, both by the CEO and my manager, asking about the cause of an issue. I haven't had any texts yet, but it puts me on edge for the whole day, almost waiting for them to ask me to do something. At my previous job, I wasn't contacted a single time outside of work in 3 years and could fully switch off after 5. At the moment, though, even though 90% of the time nothing is going wrong, I can't stop thinking about the possibility of a bug in production that someone is going to message me about. What do I do?
I don't know what your experience level is like and how technically demanding the job is, but if you're competent enough to work without any external support, 40K is not enough to put up with that kind of stress.
Ask for a raise and a title change. If you are the only dev in that product, you are the lead developer. If amount of work is too much, then say it and ask for budget to get a junior dev.
40K is criminal. Leave. Take your experience and don't look back. Out of pure curiosity, how much experience do you have? Does your contract mention being on call? Have a talk with your manager. Either get a raise, or this has to stop. Or leave.
If the whole store relies on you while they pay peanuts and bother you at 3 a.m., it's time to update the resume. And that's all drama for now. Time to close this pull request, but we'll merge the fresh gossip in the next video. Stay tuned, amigos. Bye!